Hello YouTube, Wes here checking in with once again the vinyl unboxing of the records I had in storage for now over 5 years, 5.5 years coming up on. Finally getting to these last two boxes to unbox. So we're unboxing box number 15. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist that I have. So you'll be able to click through on my channel and click that playlist, or it should be somewhere off to the side there. Maybe there's a playlist. But these are all connected by a playlist, and these are records when we were living at the Duck Pond house I put in storage. Boxed them up basically about a year before we had to move out of that place. A little over a year before we had to move out of there. Originally we were going to have to move out, and then the owners decided, they were trying to sell it, and the economy was still pretty bad at that point. So the house wasn't selling, so they decided to let us rent it for another year. So we got another year and a couple extra months on top of that, because while they were waiting for it to sell. But I started boxing up records to prepare for moving, and they stayed in storage while we were at the Midtown house, our last house. And now that we've purchased this house and we're here for a long time, not going anywhere, nobody can tell us to move out, and we have the space for it. I'm finally getting these records out of storage. A lot of this is stuff I picked up at garage sales, things I picked up at thrift stores. Actually, a lot of it's thrift store type stuff. Just things I picked up along the way that looked interesting. Maybe it was something I saw somebody show here on the vinyl community. Maybe it was just something that was from an artist I knew of and thought I'd want to check out all their stuff. Whatever it may be, as it is now and as it was in the early days, I buy a lot more than I have time to really listen to, even though now it's starting to even out where I'm buying. Well, lately I've been listening to more than I've been buying because of this whole pandemic and all that stuff, but that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, want to get these unboxed so I can start giving them a serious listen and decide whether they're good enough to go in the permanent collection back there or whether they just weren't for me. So let's go ahead and get this box number 15 opened up. The next to the last box, there's one more box after this, and then this series will be over. I did make a notation on this box that there are 100 pieces in here, so 100 pieces in box 15. Let's see what we got. And I guess before we get into this, I'll just say, hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. Staying home, listening to some great music if you can. I hope you're able to still continue to work. I'm working from home, it has its upsides and its downsides working from home, but it is nice to be able to. It's a blessing to be able to be employed right now in these times. So I hope that can continue, and yeah, just doing what I can. So let's go ahead and get into this box. First one out of the top here, Elton John, self-titled. White Album poster. I don't know why that's in here, but yeah, poster for a White Album. So I have to look and see. Yeah, maybe I might be missing this. As I was looking in my White Albums, and the one I thought had a poster might not have had a poster, and I think this is what's supposed to be in there. So that's where that was all these years. Next up, the soundtrack to the movie Witness, Harrison Ford. Who does the music on this? Maurice Jarre is the music on this. That'll be pretty cool. Reader's Digest, Christmas with Bing Crosby. One for my Christmas collection. On the Deutsche Grammophon Music Fest label, which I think was their budget label. At the time I didn't know that, but I think as I've learned and collected these over the time, I think the Music Fest is their sort of budget label. But this is Ode to Joy. On the Deutsche Grammophon, here is Mike Oldfield with 5 Miles Out, a lesser known Mike Oldfield album. Gatefold on that one. This one I bought just because Cool cover. O Sole Mio, Joe Mama. It's got Italian restaurant kind of theme going on there. Here is another one of the Warner Brothers Lost Leaders, the $2 records that you would mail away for. This one's called Menu Hot Platters. Let's see who we got here. Deep Purple, T-Rex, Randy Newman, Paul Stuckey, Gordon Lightfoot, the Beach Boys, Fanny, the Kinks, Ry Cooder, Big Mama Thornton, Beaver and Krause are on here. Pretty cool. Bunch of other artists, so nice. Those are always fun to pick up. Next thing right here is a John Martin album. This is an album Sapphire. When was this? 1985. Very cool. I do remember buying this one. A sealed copy of Arlo Guthrie's self-titled. Go ahead and pull that out of there. It's still sealed. Amigos. This is not self-titled. It's titled Amigos. This one has Darkest Hour on it. This is a Time Life box set of Mozart, the Late Symphonies. Yeah. Just like the look of this, and it was still sealed. I think I got this in a thrift store. Yeah, I got this in a thrift store, so that was pretty cool. Pledge 5 thrift store that was a very short-lived thrift store here in town. It was really near my work, which was really nice. I could walk over there on my lunch break and do a little digging, but they only lasted a few months, so that was sad. I think there was actually some embezzlement going on in the company that was running that place. It was kind of wild, but yeah. Short-lived thrift store. Next one, here's a cool one from Pat Metheny, American Garage. Nice fusion jazz. Here's a really good one. Soundtrack to Clockwork Orange. Another one from John Martin. This is Well Kept Secret, radio station promo. Another one of his 80s works. Copy of Harry Belafonte's Love is a Gentle Thing. Really nice, clean copy of that. And I'm still waiting for an upgrade in my main collection, so hopefully this will be the one. Nice mono copy of it. These early records, they were reprocessed stereo, so the stereo ones are not great. Later did the Living Stereo series of Harry Belafonte's, and those are awesome, but the early reprocessed stereo ones are not really that great, so I look for these mono ones, and that's a really nice clean copy of that, so should be a nice upgrade. Here is the ever-present Duke by Genesis, a nice clean copy, another one that's an upgrade. I think mine has water damage on it. It's a good playing copy, it's just the sleeve isn't as nice as this one, so yeah, there's a nice copy of Duke. Nice copy of Peter, Paul, and Mary in Concert, 2 LP set, which I think this came in a single LP and a double LP, and the double LP one is a little harder to find. That's nice to have that. Al Stewart, Love Chronicles. I didn't remember having this one. This is another one from that short-lived thrift store. Miles Davis in Concert, and this looks like a I don't know where it's from. It's a UK pressing of this. It has the pound sign on it. I should have just looked at that. Has that very on the corner sort of look to it. Very nice. Here's a nice one. Harry Belafonte, Sings of Love. West, Bruce and Lang, Why Don't Ya? This is an upgrade copy. Another one that I have that the cover is beat. The record plays nice, but not the cover. This looks like a blind buy. I don't recognize this name, but Alan Parker. There's one, Diane Davidson, Mountain Mama. Another one that's a complete blind buy for me. Cheap pickup. Has an interesting look to it. Dollar pickup there. This is by a group, I guess the group name is Arrival, with their album I Will Survive. Yeah. Don't know anything about that. That one's going to be a discovery for me. Isaac Hayes' Black Moses, this is one that folds out into the cross. Sean Phillips' Contribution. There's some good shit in here. Oh boy. Okay. Here we go. Sean Phillips with Furthermore. Here's one I thought I didn't buy, and I've been kicking myself ever since for not buying it. Apparently I did at some point. Oh wow, yeah, I paid $5 for this at Planet Retro. EMF's Schubert Dip. Classic album from 1991. Yeah. That is awesome. I gotta get this cleaned up and spin it, because I haven't heard this album in forever. Even though I do have the CD, but I just don't pull it out too often. But yeah, glad this came out of the boxes, because that's a killer one, a classic one from my youth, my early, I guess that would be late middle school, early high school kind of days there. Yeah, big album from that time period. Here's Thompson Twins' album, their album Set. This is a UK pressing of that. I remember finding this one too. This is pretty rare. Soft Cell, The Last Night. This is Planet Retro. This is probably from my first ever visit to Planet Retro Records in 2014. Yeah, still love that record store. That was one of the last record stores I was in. We were in there in February with Brad. Love that place. Fleetwood Mac's Penguin. Free Creek, which I think I've already shown once before in this series. A better copy of this, so apparently bought that one multiple times. Copy of Games by Synergy. Let's see here. That's not clear vinyl, that's black vinyl. Copy of Metropolitan Suite by Synergy. Basically just Larry Fast. It just goes by Synergy. It's not really a group, just him. 12-inch single, Britney Spears, Me Against the Music. Nice find there. Where's that from? Tampa Record Show? Yeah, Tampa Record Show find. Here's a James Bond soundtrack you don't see too often, the soundtrack to Moonraker. One of them less common ones. Scritty Politti Provisions. One that I have recently run through the Survivor series, and I ended up not liking this album, so that one ended up in the Discog store, and this one probably will too at some point. Robert Klein, New Teeth. This maybe is a comedy album, not sure. Here is a late album from Deodato from 1989. Somewhere Out There. Here is one I've definitely been wanting to get out of here. He was still alive when this was boxed up, but has since passed, and this is David Bowie, Let's Never Let Me Down. From 1987. Really nice copy of that. And the Bowie doesn't stop there. You've got Scary Monsters from 1980 is the year on this one. So definitely some nice 80s Bowie stuff coming out of this box. Here is a copy of Rubber Soul, and this is a Wally Troggett cut. I know for a fact this is, because that's why I bought it. I paid $15 for it. The only reason I would pay $15 for this probably. So yeah, nice to have that. Have a really nice sounding stereo copy. Really clean too. Very nice. Phaedra's Tangerine Dreams Phaedra. Awesome, awesome album of theirs. If you want to start somewhere with Tangerine Dream, this is a good place to start. Gatefold there. Here's a David Byrne album. A Tree is Best Measured When It's Down. Or no, Music for the Knee Plays on ECM. So I didn't even realize David Byrne had released anything on ECM, but yeah, pretty neat find there. Here's a cool one too. Glad to finally get this one out. Tangerine Dreams Rubicon. Another great one from them. Here's a copy of Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. The Beatles, 20 Greatest Hits. Another one that is cut by Wally Troggett. Very nice comp. I think the first one of the, well, not one of the first, but sort of one of the first single disc Beatles comps, I guess you could say. It came after the red and blue albums. Freedom by Neil Young, of course. Rockin' in the Free World is on here. Yeah, glad to have this one. Yeah, really cool. This one probably shouldn't have been boxed up for so long, but glad to finally have that one out because it's definitely one I love. And I think Rockin' in the Free World was kind of my introduction to Neil Young. It didn't really, I guess I knew like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young type stuff when I was younger, but didn't know him as a solo artist until Rockin' in the Free World came out. And I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's pretty cool. Crowded House, Temple of Low Dog. Temple of the Low Dog? Or Temple of Low Men. I don't know why I'm saying dog. But yeah, Crowded House album. And it's still in shrink. This is one I recently bought a reissue of because I didn't think I had it. Daryl Hall and John Oates, self-titled. Hall and Oates. Let's see if this one has the. This one does not have the inner sleeve with the nudity on it. So yeah, still not a bad thing that I bought the reissue. Joan Armatrading. Secrets. This will clean up really nice. Joni Mitchell's Ladies of the Canyon. One you see a lot, but it's usually in pretty rough shape. And this one's in really nice shape. It just needs a wipe down. It'll be looking really nice. So yeah, it was a nice one to get out of there. This is an album, Wham! UK. Fantastic. Here's another one from ECM, Ralph Towner's Solstice. And Jeff Lorber, Private Passion. Fusion jazz artist. I don't know from the looks of this. This might be really cheesy. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. It was 10 cents. 10-cent day at the library sale, so you never know what you're going to get on 10-cent day. Whatever's left over is going to be pretty weird. Here's another one. I do know these people, and I think they're pretty good. Kate and Anna McGargle with, I think there's a self-titled, I guess. Yeah, it's a nice folk duo there. 12-inch single for The Politics of Dancing by Reflex. Very nice. And Spanky in Our Game without rhyme or reason, back with anything you choose. Gordon Lightfoot's Shadows. Still in shrink copy of that. T. Roth and Another Pretty Face, Face Facts. Of course, Zipster 08 is this, or is just Zipster on YouTube here. Copy of Bronski Beach Truth Dare Double Dare, which I do have in the collection. This might be an upgrade or it might be something for the store. John Martin's Foundations. Really nice look on that one. John Martin's Piece by Piece. And Repairs, already a household word on the Rare Earth label. Really cool, folky kind of group out of, I think, Boston area somewhere, I think. I don't remember exactly where they were. Yeah, interesting story anyway. Steely Dan, The Royal Scam. Nice copy of that. Jeff Beck, Flash. Pat Metheny Group, Letter from Home. Supertramp, Brother Where You Bound. Nice embossed cover on that one. And Justin Hayward, Night Flight. Next one we got here, Robert Palmer, Pride. Robin Trower, Long Misty Days. And we got Boston, Third Stage. The group with the best album covers ever. I don't know if that's true, but they always had pretty awesome album covers anyway. Speaking of which, Don't Look Back, Boston. Next up, Sidewalk with Capricaille, I think or it could be Capricaille with Sidewalk, I'm not sure. This is another 10-cent day fine from the record, from the library sale, so no telling. Just a random grab there kind of thing. Jean Zabias, Symphony No. 2 in D major, the Berlin Philharmonic on Deutsche Grammophon. Joyce Sims, Come Into My Life. C.B. McClinton, If You Loved Her That Way. There's the other copy of that. The Stephen Foster Curlin from White Springs, Florida, where the Florida Folk Festival normally takes place every Memorial Day weekend, but unfortunately this year, due to obvious reasons, it won't be taking place, unfortunately, which is very sad, but always love going there every year and hearing some great music from all around the world, really. And yeah, great location for a folk festival, and yeah, really miss this place, so hope to get back there soon. All the state parks in Florida are closed, right? It's in a state park, so all the state parks in Florida are closed for who knows how long, unfortunately, even though that's a great place for people to go and be social, or be physically distanced from one another and still enjoy the outdoors and do something and get their mind off things. Unfortunately, for some reason, they decided to close the parks. But anyway, Jesse Colin Young, Song for Julie. Still in Shrink. William Ackerman, Turtles Navel, guitar solos. This is Windham Hill, I think. Yeah, Windham Hill. Tom Rush, The Circle Game, still in Shrink. Another 10-cent library sale pickup on So Def Records, Emoge with Time After Time. 12-inch single to that. Tanya Tucker's What's Your Mama's Name, which I think I picked up again recently for whatever reason, because I didn't know I already had it, but Jean-Luc Ponty's Mystical Adventures. The Shortwave Channel, Bright Lights They Hurt. Picked this up for $0.25 at the local record store when they were having a 25-cent sale. It's a newer release. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get in with this. Probably some hardcore punky type stuff, I'm guessing. There's a cool one, Information Society. This one has What's on Your Mind, Pure Energy on it, of course, their big hit. The legendary Minnesota Fats in his own words. I'm guessing they did this around the time The Color of Money came out to sort of capitalize on that whole thing, the explosion, reigniting the passion in the pool playing hobby. Nice copy of Dead or Alive's Youthquake, which I do already have one in the collection, but we'll have to compare and see which one's the nicest. And Dead or Alive's Sophisticated Boom Boom, which I do not have in the collection already, so that will be potentially an addition. The Systems' Don't Disturb This Groove, which is their most well-known track, I would imagine. And Tanya Tucker, TNT. All right, last stack out of this box number 15, and then I'll let you go. And then all that'll be left is box number 16 in about a month. Norman Kennedy, Scott's Songs and Ballads. Just some Scottish folk songs kind of stuff, I'm guessing. Naked Eyes, Fuel for the Fire. Gordon Lightfoot's Dream Street Rose. Billy Joel's Glass Houses. Ted Nugent, State of Shock. Billy Joel's The Stranger. Dwayne and Greg Allman. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. Really difficult to find a minty copy of that as far as the cover goes. They just got beat. You find it all the time, and it's always beat. It's one of those records. The Police, Regatta da Blanc. Deep Purple's Machine Head. Nice. And last but not least, Deep Purple's Stormbringer. So that's going to do it for box number 15 of the records I had in storage for the past 5 years. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing. A lot of pretty killer stuff in here, I think. I definitely rediscovered some stuff I didn't know I had, so that was awesome. That's been the fun part of getting back into these boxes. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. As I said, there is a playlist, so if you haven't been following along or if you missed one along the way, go ahead and check that out and pick up. I will make a asterisk to that. Episode 8 was lost, or box number 8 was lost, so there is no box number 8 if you're trying to watch them all. So go from 7 to 9. But otherwise, that's gonna do it for this episode. As I said, we'll see you again in about a month from now for box number 16, the last box. And stay safe, be well, listen to great music. We'll see you again real soon. Cheers.